I know you've been hearing a ton of bad news every single day, 24/7. I wanted to give you some good news about the coronavirus. Number one, the last temporary hospital in China has closed. They put up these temporary hospitals to deal with this virus, and the last one is closed because the number of infections are dropping significantly. In fact, they only had one new infection the second day in a row. So that's good news. 90 to 95% of the large manufacturing companies in China are now back to work in some capacity. That's good news. 65 to 70% of small businesses in China are coming back to work. And they have at least 70% of all the people that were infected are now fully recovered. And then we get to the city Codogno, that's in Italy. This is one of the two clusters in Italy where they had higher amounts of infection. Reported significantly less infections. At one point, they had 35 a day. Now it's only 5 a day. That's good news. All right, next one. And by the way, I put all the links down below so you can verify this data. There's a team of infectious disease experts did a report in the medical journal Nature Medicine, and the researchers were collaborating from Hong Kong and Harvard University. And this is what they found. The new estimates of fatality rates for the coronavirus are not 3%, it's 1.4%. That's significantly less. Also in China, the Disney staff are going back to work, Starbucks is opening up, and I did a video on this new drug, which is basically an old drug repurposed. It's called chloroquine. This is used for malaria. I did a whole video on it, and they used different versions of it, different derivatives of it in China, in South Korea, and other countries, and now they're going to start using it in the US with some pretty good success. And what it does is it allows zinc to penetrate the cell, and zinc turns off the reproduction of that virus. We have a 103-year-old Chinese grandmother made a full recovery. Apple's reopening 42 China stores. There's been a significant decline in cases in South Korea. 3 Maryland patients are fully recovered. Yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you watch the news or you listen to the radio, they will tell you about almost every death that's happening. New death in New York occurred like one by one, just bad news stacked on bad news, but they don't actually tell you about the recoveries. Tulsa, Oklahoma's first positive COVID-19 case has fully recovered. All 7 patients who are getting treated at a hospital in New Delhi have full recoveries. There's also a very interesting paper, which I'm going to do a separate video on. You'll see that very soon. That talks about the relationship between temperature and humidity reducing COVID-19 transmission. But they found that as the temperature increases and the humidity increases, the rate of spread of COVID-19 decreases. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And lastly, a university in the Netherlands found an antibody to COVID-19.